What's up, Sooner Nation? Happy Saturday, college football Saturday beginning today. Thanks for being a part of the Sooner Surge family. If you're not a part of it, what are you waiting on? Click the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, be a part of this Sooner Surge family where we provide content and interact with you, our viewers. And as you know, college football is here, but for Sooner fans, it's not even that. It's the fact that there is a commitment tonight, that everyone's been waiting for, possibly maybe the biggest commitment in, I don't know, last decade, probably, guys. Just get your opening comments on how you're each feeling about 7 hours away from this Stone commitment.
I'll just say I feel confident, but there's also some worry there due to knowing how much quote unquote momentum there has been for Miami. Now, I still believe that Oklahoma will be the pick in the end. I have never changed from that. But I do think that Miami is proposing to challenge Oklahoma. And 7 hours in the world of recruiting is a lot of time still. Things can change. We saw it with David Hicks. Things changed in a matter of 10 minutes, okay? So nothing is impossible. I do believe Oklahoma will be the pick in the end. But I know that Miami is pushing everything they have to land Stone. This is going to be a recruitment that I think goes down to the final 30 minutes, hour probably.
I don't really see that happening. I think he's made up his mind personally. Just my opinion. How confident am I? First off, I can't be confident and hesitant at the same time. So I'm going to say I'm a little bit on the hesitant side. And me, that's coming from past failures at five-star defensive linemen, guys. That's where it's coming from. I know that. I know that as an OU fan. I'm not an insider in recruiting. I just have, until I see a commitment from a five-star to OU, I'm going to be hesitant, okay? I know everything looks good for OU side. I do think it's a little different than the Hicks thing, Jackson, because I just don't see it coming down to the very end and him making a decision like that. I think that the decision's made. He obviously, we know from past, he likes to play the game, right? And I think we're getting a lot of that right now with Twitter and stuff. But tonight, Jeremy, you mentioned it, the biggest recruitment in a long time.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident for tonight. It's going to go in OU's favor. Obviously, Miami has a very interesting pitch to him. He's been in Florida now for 2 years at IMG. He's kind of used to that Florida weather. I mean, right now, Oklahoma, it's the high is 98 today, and this is kind of a cooler day. I know next week they're saying 108 in Norman at 1 o'clock for week 1 against Arkansas State. So much different kind of weather outlook there compared to what you'll get in Florida. Then Miami, they got Jason Taylor. He's an NFL Hall of Famer, defensive line coach there. You can't argue against that. Like, he's went through everything Stone has went through. He got to the next level, became an NFL Hall of Famer. Now he's back at Miami coaching. But also Todd Bates is at OU. Todd Bates has put out 10 defensive linemen, 6 in the first round, and that's including the guys that were drafted last year, because they should totally be included in that list, as he was the main part of their development over their 2 of their 3 years in college at Clemson. So, and Oklahoma's the hometown team. He's from Del City. It's 20 to 40 minutes away. Really 20 miles, I think. Very close. Xavier Robinson's at OU. That's a lifelong best friend. Michael Patterson-McDonald's at OU. Lifelong best friend. Jaden Jackson's committed to OU as well. That's his he called him his brother in the post game with Colin Kennedy, his best friend at IMG. So there's a lot of pull each way. It's just OU's been the one constant in this recruitment. I do feel a little better knowing that the announcement is not going to be live on ESPN. From the sounds of it, it sounds like it's going to be on an Instagram live.
I think it's both, isn't it?
I don't know. I interpreted that tweet or Instagram post, I can't remember which one it was, from Stone, as it's only going to be the Instagram live. It sounds like something didn't work out in the broadcast schedule to get it organized, set up as a halftime live announcement on ESPN, but it very well could be. If it's only on Instagram, I feel a little bit better because Stone, everyone knows that he's for show. You give a kid like that the ESPN prime time. I mean, it's going to be probably 7:30 Central Time, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern at the time he's announcing it at halftime. Yeah, he can do a lot of things on a live broadcast. I do think with how, even though he has been for show, he's marketed himself very well throughout this whole recruitment. I think he's going to honor. I think he's really just done with it all at this point. He has his mind made up. That's where he's going to go.
I can say cautiously optimistic, and I think that's perfectly fine. And here's why. I'm optimistic because in my opinion, as an OU fan under the Brent Venables regime, a commitment is a lock. This is why I'm really optimistic, because if OU lands David Stone, you're not going to have to worry, Sooner fans, on if he's going to be swayed to go somewhere else, because we know the credibility, the lockdown of commitments under Venables. That's really exciting as Sooner fans, that they can get on board with that, I think. And the other thing is, as Hunter alluded to, this guy may be honoring his what all he's been talking about, his friendships and all these things. He's going to go down, guys, he's going to be a leader before he steps foot near that campus. He's already is that leader. And I think that he's going to have a big group following. And this guy's going to have a chance to be not just the best defensive line player at the University of Oklahoma and the top pick of a defensive lineman, but also maybe the best legacy leader that they've had in a very long time, guys. And that's because of his charisma, his the friendships that he's got, and just the influence I think he's got across social media and everything. This guy's going to be special. I'm very cautiously optimistic about tonight, guys.
Another thing that you said was that people will follow him. And if Stone does end up committing to Oklahoma, there will be players across the country that see this, that are committed to other schools. Now, I'm not going to say that Oklahoma is going to flip any big-time players from other schools, but there could be a guy or two in the country that sees Stone, the impact he makes, and they're like, maybe I could hit up the OU staff, see what they have to say, give him a chance. Because, Stone has probably the biggest impact out of any of the recruits in this whole class. If not, I would say him and Dylan Raiola are the two probably biggest impact players, just due to their value, the way they market themselves. So I think that if Stone does come into Oklahoma, it's going to catch a lot of national attention from current high school players. And you look at guys that are upcoming to commit, like a guy like Nigel Smith, that's considered in Oklahoma a big-time defensive lineman. There's even a guy that Oklahoma could flip in Williams Nwaneri, because I think if Stone would have decided to commit before Williams Nwaneri, we would have seen him ending up a Sooner. So I know I'm not saying that Nwaneri is going to flip, but I think that's just a thing to watch to see if Stone can convince some guys to come with them.
Well, there's definitely a aura about David Stone that does cause people to notice. And obviously, if he picks OU tonight, you get a 5-star defensive lineman that picks OU, and that's the first one in the middle in a long, long time. A lot of people will take notice and be like, okay, maybe things have changed with this staff. They're able to maybe get talent. They got PJ last year at the end. They would get Stone tonight. That would be 2 in 2 years there as recruiting, so that would be huge. He's going to either be the most beloved recruit tonight, or Twitter's going to fall off the end of the earth tonight. I mean, guys, Twitter already is – I've never seen a recruit when it's this close to committing that just – I mean, guys, I slept 2 hours last night, and it wasn't because of I went to bed late. Guys, hey, it's hard to stay off Twitter, man. It's hard to stay off it. And OU fans have been hurt so many times, been left at the altar. I'll use the wedding thing again, guys. And tonight, I'm hoping and I'm praying that it changes. And I like you said, Jeremy, cautiously optimistic. I'm hesitant. I would probably say I would lean OU maybe like barely. And that's just because, and that's what I would love our viewers to comment. First off, is OU getting Stone tonight? Second off, if they get him or if they don't get him, what is the reason? One reason why. The main reason. If they land him tonight, what's the main reason? I'm going to go with what Hunter was saying earlier. To me, it'd be the relationships with the players that have already committed there. I think that to me would be the main thing, because those guys that committed, Jaden Jackson especially it was Texas for a while. And to get him flipped, David Stone had a part in that. So obviously that would be a reason, the main reason for me, I think.
Yeah, and I also think that just, as you said, the impact that Stone had on some players committing to OU, aka Jaden Jackson. It's just that Stone truly can change this narrative for maybe Todd Bates in a way. Todd Bates is an elite recruiter, but so many people like to go back to David Hicks and make their one judgment off that. That's not who Todd Bates is. He's an elite recruiter, and he's the best of the best.
Well, one thing on Todd Bates, and then I'm done talking, but a lot of people, I think, criticize if they don't land Stone, and they do criticize Bates for not landing. But I think, as most Sooner fans know, Todd Bates has done everything he can, because, guys, we were never in the conversation for these players before, okay? We were never in the conversation for these 5-star defensive linemen. So whether you want to say it's Bates, it is Bates getting us in the position. At some point, you can do all you can, and if a player just doesn't choose you, it's not on the coach. Now, he will be criticized if he doesn't start landing them, but I think it does probably change tonight. But we're in the conversations with these guys. We're in the top 2 or 3 with a lot of these guys. So he's doing things right.
Yeah, like you said, Todd Bates was able to do it all at Clemson. Obviously, majority of his tenure at Clemson, very different recruiting world. There's a 3-letter acronym that was not around for majority of his time at Clemson, that being NIL. Now that's another thing, and really, I've said it a lot. Coach can't control that. He's not the one. He's not the booster making that decision, authorizing that decision, all that stuff to the recruit, especially position coach. So, yeah, Todd Bates has done very, very well getting OU into these positions. And tonight just seems like this is the night that it's going to happen. Since Bates, Venables, Chavis arrived at OU, David Stone has been that guy. Every class has to have that guy that's just the leader. Last year it was Jackson Arnold. 24, it's still kind of, you don't really know. David Stone is that guy, but he's got to commit first. And then 25 is Kevin Sperry. So as Jason said earlier, drop your comments in the chat. One reason why Stone ends up either a Sooner or not a Sooner tonight, commitment will be happening at the halftime of IMG at St. Joe's. Game will be on ESPN2, 6 o'clock Central Time. If you're not already subscribed, click that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of our latest videos. We will have hopefully another update out tonight with some good news. That's what we're wanting. We don't like bringing the bad news. We want the good news. So, as always, Boomer.
Boomer.